In breaking news this morning, Dame Olivia Newton-John has died at the age of 73. The four-time Grammy Award winner is best known for her role in the 1978 musical Grease, in which she sang "You're the One That I Want" with John Travolta, one of the world's best-selling singles.
The British-born Australian star had also become a campaigner for breast cancer awareness after her own diagnosis in the early 1990s. Messages posted to her official social media pages say the star passed away peacefully at her ranch in Southern California this morning, surrounded by family and friends. We'll be live outside her Cancer Research Centre, named in her honour, in Melbourne a little later. But first, let's go to Lara Himes in Sydney. Lara, good morning. Devastating news for Olivia Newton-John's family. Devastating news for each and every Australian this morning.
Very much so, and really for the world, Michael. She really was Australia's darling, and if you just have a look at her career, there were so many milestones that you could really celebrate. Hard to believe that this individual started singing and performing at the age of 14. She went on to get multiple Grammy Awards, and of course was catapulted to the stage when she performed in the 70s film of Grease. And of course that was really a voice of a generation, and the world just really fell in love, not just with her singing ability and her acting ability, but she was just such Australia's sweetheart, and she managed to retain that really all through her life. Just a really long-lived legacy. It's just such devastating news, and there's been so many people that have already been posting about this. Obviously it's very fresh news that has come in, so maybe some people will still be waking up with it, and even overseas still coming to terms with it. But I did notice that people like Richard Marx had already posted his tributes, saying that that he was just heartbroken by this news, and just her affinity with so many people, even just regular people to celebrities. She could really fit into any circle, and really just absolutely adored by the international media and also the world. So it was very much heartbreaking news this morning, and especially hearing about this cancer diagnosis. She'd been battling cancer really since the 90s. It had returned several times previously as well, and interestingly, when cancer, well, tragically really, had returned, and I think in the mid-2000s or so, she'd previously been diagnosed with sciatica, so a misdiagnosis there, which, you know, made one of her tours delayed into how she was going to be performing that. But even after that was rectified and resolved, she went back on the road touring, and just you could see her in media interviews, just a really bright, shining light, and was very much happy to relive the past as well. I remember seeing a piece on Variety this morning, how she was teaching the journalist how to do the "You're the One That I Want" dance. So nothing ever seemed to be a real trouble for her, and Australia has really lost one of its darlings today.
It has indeed, and she's been an enduring superstar, really, hasn't she? Kicking off her career in the early days of Australian TV, all the way through Grease, of course, which was her breakout hit in 1978, and popular to this very day until she died. It's a true mark of somebody who has spanned generations and has been such a star, Lara.
And I think the other thing that is with Olivia Newton-John is that she continued her legacy. It wasn't just Grease that she performed and that stopped her acting and singing career. Even when things didn't go quite well, she still bounced back. If you have a look at Xanadu, that didn't really rate that well if you compare it to Grease, but still the songs of that, and she was still able to sing that in her performances. So she still would look back at her career, at all that she had done, and was still able to embody flex of that into future performances. And it's just remarkable how someone has such a legacy, and she really did that through multiple decades. Sometimes with stars and celebrities of this ilk, they really only specialise in perhaps the 60s or the 70s or the 80s, but her legacy has been really enduring, and even her performance career. And of course we saw that she was so philanthropic too, the way that she would continually care for charity events and put herself out there there to represent things that were close to her heart really just shows you the type of person that she was. I do remember seeing that she actually auctioned off a whole bunch of stuff, memorabilia, that she didn't use the profits for herself. She dedicated all those proceeds towards cancer research. We know that she was really involved in setting up these institutions, these organisations, in a bid to try to find ongoing therapies, and especially for really unique cancers and where there wasn't a lot of treatment available. So she was always putting her best foot forward that way and really trying to always help the community, even into her latter years.